Welcome back to Hogwarts. Let's see what mischief we can get into today, shall we? Hey, Pariah. How you doing?
Revelio.
What do we have going on today? Talk to Mr. Fig. Or Professor Fig, rather.
They say herbology is the study of magical.
Revelio.
My day is going okay. I've actually played quite a lot of this game. I've got 2 accounts running, so on my second account, I am, roughly 20% or so complete compared to my 5% on this. And I'm like, what level was I? At least level 22 in on my other account. So, yeah, I've done quite a bit of
Revelio.
I've done quite a bit of playing of this game. I'm actually enjoying it. I want to progress through some of the story here, because there's some spells I'd like to start learning.
Off on another adventure, are we?
And I can't wait to start riding a broomstick around everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but outside. Nope, sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, in order for me to be able to use my joystick here, sometimes I have to do that, which is silly. Anyway, I can start flying around here and exploring out here when I start getting a broomstick. Although some of these I won't be able to do or get to because I need certain spells, and they get harder out in the peripheral. Basically, the places I can get to are here in Hogsmeade, and maybe I can get a little bit into the Forbidden Forest. Yeah, it is a big game. And what's nice is you can customize yourself how you like. So you can turn yourself into a dark wizard if you wanted to. But I like this look. Since I am in Hufflepuff, suppose I could wear this. You know what? I think I'll wear this for a little while. Not that you can see the look on this one very well. Because that just covers everything up. But yeah, there's also flying mounts you can get eventually. On my other account, I don't have this yet. But my other account, I do have a broom and one upgrade. And I have at least half a dozen different wand handles to choose from. Oh. And my defense and offense are over 120, 150. Yeah, I think they're both over 150 now. So lots of dude in this game. Lots of exploring. Lots of nooks and crannies to explore. And that's how you get experience, is exploring. Learning new spells. Wait a minute. Something I didn't bother with.
Revelio.
Or I didn't realize that the Great Hall was...
Lumos.
right here.
Revelio. Lumos.
Moths. Yeah, if you see parchment showing and then vanishing, it's part of this book. Something you get early on in the game. There's more things to do. You have these doors all over the place. And it's basically a math puzzle. This represents 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 9. So 7 plus 9 equals 16. And there's an 8 difference to get to 24. So 8. So single question mark is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So you can just go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 blindfolded and you can figure it out. 11 and 0 makes 11, difference of 3. Three-headed snake. 1, 3. Open. I practically had that solved before I had the key. And when you find the key... where was it? Oh, did I not find the key yet? No. Or am I looking in the wrong place? No. I haven't found the key yet. I thought I found the key. Hold on a moment. Oh yeah, this is the key. So it goes 0 to 9 around it. So yeah. Trying to keep the mash skills up. Although I was already pretty good at math and deciphering, and I practically had this solved on my own. How I had it going on. I didn't have some of these, like this one here and this one here were both incorrect, and I think this one I had incorrect, and this one I was just confusing me. But this unicorn has one horn. This guy has 2 horns. This is a 3-headed snake. This guy had 5 legs. This had 8 legs. This had like 9 heads. So I practically had it all figured out. But the ones that were confusing me were, like I said, this one. Because this is 7, and I couldn't get 7 anywhere on there. This is 6. Which was baffling me. This is 4. Or 5. Yeah, 4. But I couldn't get 4 anywhere on that. And 0. That was just... So I had most of it figured out before I before I found the key. It's like interesting.
You can't imagine how inconvenient.
Ooh. Oh, I don't have that yet. Dang it. Eventually we're yeah. So there's lots of things to find. Locks to Alohomora on. Once you learn the spell. And I can't activate that because I don't have the appropriate spell. They're enchanted keys that fly around. You have to be told about them first. And I'm going to Professor Fig. There's a small flu network that you can use. You're doing it again on me. Yeah, right. Let's see. Flu network. I don't know if this is one I wanted or the other one. It gets me close. Oh, put me right there. Yeah. Professor Fig. As if my schedule wasn't congested enough, the minister has charged me with arranging the rather inconvenient arrival of a new student at Hogwarts. At 5th year, if you can believe it. Professor Weasley insists that they will need an escort and a mentor to help them acclimatize before term begins. I have assigned the task to you. Please see Professor Weasley for details. Professor Phineas Nigellus Black, Headmaster.
Revelio.
Spin, spin.
Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece. I heard about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade? With Rookwood?
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Sirona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
Yeah, I think that 6 is a horned lizard, so it had 6 horns on it.
Speaking of the vault, Do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts?
I do not. Gringotts goblins aren't typically the friendliest of beings, but they have a great deal of integrity. No, I dare say after what happened to that poor banker, the goblins at Gringotts are no followers of Ranrock.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes, yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. A restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm eager to discover what we may find there as well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what happened to Miriam, taught me anything, it's that the path we're on is terribly dangerous. I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit before we continue.
But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book.
Perhaps we are only after a book, but we should be prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let Professor Hecat know to expect you.
Quests. Ah, yes. Professor Hecat. So before I can do this, I need to learn the fire-making charm, which she teaches me. Incendio. No. Yeah, she teaches me Incendio. And I gain the disillusionment charm. This next part is going to be fun. Oh, I need to go down. Oh, wait. Grab a spot of tea first.
My friends and I lose track of the time.
I've always said that travel...
Revelio.
I believe we have some matters to discuss.
Was there anything else here? No.
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio.
Yes, yesterday we learned...
You know where to find me once you've finished.
Yesterday in this class we learned that somebody has an unsanctioned wand dueling thing going on. And they call it the crossed wands. And she wants me to go to there.
Seems
because-
crossed wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be.
Because crossed wands isn't as secret. As secret as they think it's this. Which is funny. Don't tell anyone about it. It's a secret. Not even the teachers know about it. On the contrary, the teachers do know about it.
Revelio.
No, Peeves.
Oh, not again!
Here I've come from the toilet bowl where she said I could swim, did you praxia mole? As long as 'twere only one time per week, I can plunge the boys' lavatory, not for the meek.
Please, Peeves, you'll make me late.
He tried to stop me, did rancorous carp.
I think this is
Sought
scripted
to trap me, confine
when you
me
get
inside
this.
of a jar. But he failed, as did his containment charms, so I took my revenge to wreak havoc and harm. It was granted my privileges be handsome indeed, or I'd fire up the cannon, and so she agreed. To draw up a contract with her, not with him, that if I behaved, I'd have one weekly swim! Whee!
I'll get you for this.
You left your books back there, by the way. Peeves the Poltergeist. Very colorful for a spirit.
Glad you could make it. Lucan's just over there.
Yep, but
Leviosa.
before that, is there?
Revelio.
Get closer. Nope. Okay.
Can I help
Let
you?
us get into duels, shall we?
Sebastian told me to see you about a club.
If Sebastian vouches for you, that's all I need to know. I coordinate duels for crossed wands. A dueling club of sorts. It's invitation only, so you must have really impressed Sebastian.
I'm flattered to hear that. Sebastian's not a bad duelist either.
Imagine it's quite something to see the two of you duel.
How does cross wands work exactly?
You show up, I match you with other duelists, and whoever is still standing in the end wins. It's our way of determining the school's greatest duelist once and for all. And to liven things up, the winner is awarded a prize. Interested?
Well, the teacher did tell me to do this, so
Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime.
I agree. Besides, in crossed ones, you could duel with a partner if you like. Your first time I'll pair you with Sebastian. Next time, you'll need to bring a partner along, or duel alone. So, care to step into the ring?
I tend to duel alone.
Get me in the ring.
Spectacular! Let the fireworks begin!
We'll make you regret signing up.
Wow, that Ravenclaw is angry.
Confringo!
Protego! Stupefy! Accio!
Expulso!
Levioso! Stupefy! Levioso! Stupefy!
You're better than that.
Accio!
Sendo!
Expulso! Act like a winner.
Confringo!
Missed it.
Expulso! Give him one more.
Stupefy! Accio! Levioso! Come on! Accio! Lumos! Stupefy! There goes my way. Levioso! Accio!
Get over here.
Confringo! Findo!
Pity more people can't watch the duels.
Nice work. Sebastian wasn't wrong about you. There's strong competition ahead, but keep this up and you could be the next school champion.
Brilliant. Count me in.
I shall. In fact, the second duel is ready when you are. And as a fully initiated member, you now have access to the official Crossed Wands training dummy. Very good way to master spell combinations. Come and see me, and I'll set it up. Again, congratulations on your first Crossed Wands victory. Well fought.
Thank you.
Hope to see you back here again.
I need to do another one. And I need to do the dummy. Let's do the dummy real quick.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio.
Nicely done.
Levioso.
That's it.
Levioso. Accio.
Good one.
Ding,
I'd
ding,
say
ding,
that's
ding.
enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
Yes, I am.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
Should I do a partner, or should I continue alone? Because I usually like going alone, but there are two other students. This is a Gryffindor, and he is a Slytherin. If that matters to you. If not, I'll just go alone again. Alright.
I'll be dueling solo.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Apologies in advance.
Apologies in advance. Who's first?
Potato! Stupefy! Accio! Levioso! Stupefy!
You're better than that!
Stupefy!
Is that all you've got?
Accio! Levioso! Potato! Stupefy!
Kindly set me down!
Stupefy!
Don't shy away now.
Accio!
Get over here.
Levioso! Come on! Stupefy! Accio!
You think? How long do you think I can keep this kid up?
Levioso! Stupefy!
Oh, I lost it.
Stupefy! Levioso! Accio! There goes my wager.
By the way, you can break the charm that they're using with the appropriate spell type.
Perhaps one day I'll
Purple,
sign
you
up
use,
for
if you look at the bottom right, you'll use a purple.
Bravo.
If it's a yellow
I gave it
shield,
my
use
You did indeed.
something like cool.
The other duelists have already
Leviosa?
taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Alright, quest complete.
Assignment's all finished.
Let's learn this fire spell.
Revelio.
You hear that ding? Means there's something nearby.
Revelio.
One over here. On the other side of the wall, however. But I can't get it. Alright, Professor Hecat.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to accommodate you and that you found success in your endeavors.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate, and keep your wand steady.
I've learned a couple of these spells in my other account that you can't keep it. It's hard to keep it straight. That arrow keeps wanting to wiggle. You know. This
Good work.
And let's put you here.
Classroom before you go. I've set up a few targets for you.
Incendio.
You're getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself. Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it?
Alright. Thank you for the lesson, Professor. Let's see. Yellow, control. Purple, force. Red, damage, mostly fire, but not necessarily. Expelliarmus, for instance, doesn't really put things ablaze. Then you have utility spells, transfiguration spells, and then you have the unforgivable curses. Scary, huh? Okay, there's somebody down here.
I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project.
Oh gosh.
You wanted to speak with me?
I did. Hello, I'm Duncan Hobhouse. Pleasure to meet you. I've heard all about you, of course, confronting trolls and dragons.
I suppose it must seem that way. I'm not sure it's justified. It's often been a matter of circumstance.
I'm going to presume your reputation is in fact warranted, in which case, you are precisely the person I need. You see, we were learning to repel boggarts in Professor Hecat's class, and, well, mine unfortunately took the shape of a puffskein.
They're adorable. Why would you be afraid of a puffskein?
They seem adorable until one sticks its tongue up your nose. Regardless of how reasonable I believe my fear of puffskeins to be, I'm beginning to get a reputation as a coward. Some have even taken to calling me Puffskein Dunkeen.
I'm sorry to hear that. Words can be cruel.
Thank you. Poppy keeps offering to help me in overcoming my fear, but I'm too afraid to take her up on it. Anyway, To make matters worse, I stupidly blurted out that I must be braver than people think, since I have been in the hidden herbology corridor.
The hidden herbology corridor?
Yes. Rumor has it that the herbology professor before Professor Garlic kept dangerous plants there. It's supposedly so overrun now that no one dares enter it anymore. I was hoping you could go there and bring back evidence that I could use to show that, well, I'd gone in. Say a bit of an exceptionally dangerous plant of some kind.
What sort of plants should I expect in the hidden herbology corridor?
I haven't a clue. But have you seen the kinds of plants Professor Garlic grows? If the previous professor was anything like her, I'd imagine they're not exactly harmless.
Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look.
Grand. I'd very much appreciate it. Come and find me if you get the proof. I shall be forever in your debt.
Yeah, when I did this mission, my other count, I actually waited until I was heading to herbology class. Let's see, quests. Oh, new appearance. And another new appearance. Oh, I'm completing these pretty well, huh? Upgrade. Change the look.
Sounds intriguing.
Does sound intriguing, but I'm not going there yet.
Revelio.
Yeah, still nothing new. Let us wait for the professor.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Yep. Alright, time to learn the illusion spell. Or disillusion.
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
I wish they'd let the Roman teach the curriculum. Charms is the only class I can stay awake for.
Oh.
Some think Professor Shah is hard to read, but I find her as easy to read as a star chart. She has no patience for time wasting.
Sebastian!
Sebastian, there you are. I was hoping to see you. I was in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack and saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow.
Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
I've never even met him. Perhaps he mistook me for another student.
If you say so. I won't press you now, but you will have to tell me what's going on at some point. You might need me. So, why were you looking for me?
I need to find something for Professor Fig, but it's in the restricted section of the library.
He can't get it himself?
He was called away by Black at the last moment. I suppose I could wait to get a note from him, but...
You want to show some initiative.
Precisely. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books, so do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt, but a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves, the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
Peeves the poltergeist.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
Time to learn. Disillusion. Spell.
Silent as a grave.
I shall pretend I cannot see you.
I shall pretend I cannot see you.
Blast. The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase. Damn.
You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me? The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves?
The key. Here it is.
Sneaky as a mouse.
That wasn't so difficult after all. Now to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say.
Revelio.
Nothing here. Got it.
Ghost, don't let her see you.
Quiet as a mouse we are.
Should be in the clear. No need for skulking about.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin
Revelio.
Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
Alexi. Shame you didn't see that.
Secrets of the darkest arts. I'm impressed.
Wait a minute. Wrong buttons. Gotta use the right buttons. Question.
I'll be quieter than a jobberknoll.
Who have we here? Sebastian Sallow and his new little friend. Out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't you...
I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where has that damned poltergeist got to?
Yep, he likes people being
just
in
the
his
spell
debt.
to repair this armor.
Reparo. Revelio.
I don't think I need the repair spell
Traces of
anymore.
ancient magic. There must be more to this one. That's it.
before I go in, and make sure I have good gear equipped. Not that it matters.
Revelio.
Better gloves.
Where might this lead?
Only one way to find out.
Revelio. Revelio.
Fight. Oh.
Not surprising. Cards at the ready.
Key sensitive spells.
Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Protego. Incendio. Stupefy. Accio. Revelio. Protego. Stupefy. Accio. Stupefy. Revelio.
I never did figure that out until on my other account. I figured it out on this one. That's cool.
Revelio.
This must be the way forward, but to where? Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me.
New hat. Or better hat. This, not so much. That's locked. And it's worse. Hat. That one's great, but I'm not quite that level yet. Almost. As soon as I finish this fight, I should have it.
Revelio.
Protego! Stupefy!
Incendio.
Accio! Levioso! Protego! Stupefy!
Yep, the
It is a book after all.
combat in this game is quite interesting. The memories. Here we go.
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald? Professor Rackham?
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood? Professor McCaw?
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Revelio.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Revelio. Accio.
I like grabbing the pages that are flying. Sebastian. Sebastian. Alright, return to Fig with the news that we have a book with some missing pages from what it appears.
Revelio.
Not over here. Somewhere else. Maybe I'll find it later. In the meantime,
Revelio.
oh, alright. Hold on, I want to check something. Can't. Got it.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Yep. Sebastian? Oh.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
The Hamlet.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Okay, what assignments do you have for me? Dodge rolling 10 times. Cast Incendio on 5 people. Got it. Well, that'll be easy enough. Shame I don't have a broomstick. Oh, come on. Wand handles. Oh, right, her. That's the greenhouse. You know what? Let's talk to you real quick. Take the long way down there. Or out there.
My family has a gobstone.
Huff, 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 huff. Oh, it's running.
Revelio.
I just wish they'd hurry.
Nope.
Imelda raises on her way.
Gotta hit this direction.
Handy resource indeed. Your
Can't wait till I get the broomstick. Need the flying lessons first.
Accio.
Yep, I want those. I want those. Lots of those. Of course, all these other ingredients as well for potions. Oh, here I am going down. I need to go up. I started just following the road. I really do like the flying they have here.
Revelio. Accio.
Yeah, it's like, why aren't you glowing like you should be? Let's see. Well, I'm wondering if I should tell her the secret, or tell her the secret or not, because that's what we'll be coming here to do, is telling her what really happened or not. So if anyone who's watching has wants me to tell this, tell her the truth or not. If it matters, she is
dangerous
a
if I'm not
Gryffindor.
careful.
Hey Jenny, how you doing? So this here is a Gryffindor. Should I tell her the truth?
It is good to see you,
Or
my
keep it secret?
friend.
And how was your day, Jenny?
Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
I am well, but I have been worried about you, my friend. With Ranrock and Rookwood and Harlow after you?
I'm all right at the moment.
We did not speak about it at the time, but I am hoping now you might tell me why they were looking for you.
Yeah, that's good, Jenny. Hopefully you're enjoying your dinner. They want something I found, or I can't say. It's the question. Maybe she wanted to come way out here to discuss it, though. I guess I'll tell her.
They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage.
What on earth?
There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic.
Is that the magic you used fighting the trolls in Hogsmeade?
I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to absorb.
It is. And I will have more questions. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us, to all of us. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. I realized something that day in Hogsmeade. You displayed such courage fighting that troll, and Serona wasn't intimidated one bit by Rookwood and Harlow. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matabeleland. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own, and the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well...
All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right, but how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
How you doing, Red?
I beg your pardon. How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
Alright, Red, you ready to see me face this?
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
Students, you can't be
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Rookwood knows I don't want to talk to him.
I'll have taken you alone.
You will not survive this fight!
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
Watch this.
We can hold them up!
I'm not going anywhere with you.
You'll take this student on the fight, buddy!
You're going to regret that.
Oh, come on.
Accio. Incendio.
Lady. I wanted to dodge that attack he was about to perform on
What on
me.
earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills.
I see you, Red.
Care to tell me why 2 Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You mentioned someone named Priya.
Yes, my wife. She's the one who piqued my interest in Merlin. Gave me a book when we were students at Hogwarts. Typical hard-working Hufflepuff, brilliant potioneer, has her own shop in Knockturn Alley. She's a travelling vendor. Hears what's going on in the Highlands before I do.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I would have thought Merlin would have been a Ravenclaw or Gryffindor. Maybe even a Hufflepuff, but a Slytherin. Hey Wolf, how you doing?
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
Glad you're doing good, Wolf.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens. My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared!
What should I do now?
This is uncharted territory.
Incendio!
Beard!
The flames make the pyre sink.
Beard, how beautiful! What a day! I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require Mallowsweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
Revelio!
I need to complete another trial so I can get things ready for... Or so I can unlock a new thing.
Might I beseech you for some assistance?
Still don't know how to help her.
Hello. Can I help you?
Oh, thank goodness. Yes. My name is Grace Pinch Smedley. Of the Bath Pinch Smedleys? I was hoping someone would come along soon. I was about to defy my father's wishes and would never have forgiven myself. You see, I need to retrieve something from the bottom of the lake. Might you be the one to help me?
I'm afraid I'm not keen on mucking about at the bottom of lakes.
Oh, please don't say no just yet. Perhaps if you understood my plight, you'd change your mind.
Perhaps. What precisely do you need to retrieve and why?
Years ago, my grandfather, who fancied himself quite the astronomer, set sail from Hogsmeade Station for what was meant to be a quick stargazing cruise with my grandmother. They never returned.
I'm so sorry. What happened to them?
We can't be sure. We only know that neither they nor their boat made it back to shore. They were presumed drowned. Father was so distraught that he forbade our family from setting foot on or in the Black Lake ever again. A treasured family astrolabe vanished with them that night. If you could dive down and retrieve it, I may be able to bring my father some peace.
You seem to think I might have heard of the Bath Pinch Smedleys. Why would I know your family?
That's like asking why the sky is blue or grass is green. The Pinch Smedley name is synonymous with intellectual curiosity. We are known for our contributions to science and art. I'm surprised you haven't heard of us, frankly. But with all I plan to discover about the world around us, those that don't yet know the name certainly one day will.
What exactly is an astrolabe?
It's an astonishing ancient navigational tool. Essentially a handheld model of the universe. It's mainly used for studying the stars, astronomical pursuits, but it has nearly 1,000 uses. Fascinating device. Sadly, I'd imagine it's rusted beyond repair now. Still, we'd love to have it returned to us. It would be like getting a bit of my grandparents back.
It sounds dangerous, especially for something of mere sentimental value.
I understand. But I'd be forever grateful. Of course, you may discover much more than the astrolabe. Anything else you found would be all yours. I've cross-referenced the vessel's last alleged location against the lake's topography, depth charts, and tide schedule. My best guess is that it's just over there, about a furlong from the dock. It would be wonderful to have my grandfather's astrolabe back. I do hope you find the astrolabe. It would mean so much to our family.
Very long.
It's like a place right out of a storybook.
Hello, Mr. Goblin.
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
Pardon me, is everything all right?
Hardly. I've just lost my business and almost my life. You'd best look elsewhere for wares. I've nothing to sell now. I never thought it'd come to this. Be on your guard. Ramrock and his loyalists will spare no one.
They attacked you.
Oh, Ranrock has no patience for goblins who won't join him. While I too would like to see goblin kind treated by wizards as equals, bloodshed is not the answer. When I said as much, they turned on me, struck me till I nearly passed out. Took my carts, my belongings, even that which is most precious to me, my paintings.
Has Ranrock's lot ever attacked you like this before?
They've been taunting and threatening me for a while now. But they've always believed that violence is the only way to get what they want. Things have taken a much darker turn of late. Ramrock is getting more powerful, and his loyalists know it. They feel untouchable. Ramrock assumed that all goblins would agree to follow him, but he was wrong. Many of us would like a diplomatic end to the discord with wizard kind.
You mentioned that your paintings were taken. Are you a painter?
I am. It's my calling, though most would think it an unusual path for a goblin. Most of my family work in metal, or associated with Gringotts. I'd wager my finest brush that Ramrock's lot have no appreciation for any of my work, and it'll be tossed aside for kindling. Without my carts and my livelihood, who knows when I'll be able to paint again.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here, just past some ruins. Too dangerous to try and retrieve them.
I did enchant the carts to return to me if I ever lost them, however. Slim though the chances may be, I'm holding out hope that some of what was taken is returned to me. It was nice meeting you. I wish it had been under better circumstances.
Yep. Hold on a moment. Let me make sure my gear is... Yeah, my gear should be up to par.
Hello, sir. What do you sell here?
Hello, I'm Jalal Semi, and this is my potion shop. I can answer any questions you have about the town.
Any whispers going about the town?
A goblin called Pergit is causing a bit of a stink. His gang is attacking travelling vendors, and now business is suffering everywhere. It would be nice if someone would do something about it. No one wants to pick a fight with a band of goblins, though. Which means he's free to do what he wants down in Coral Ruins.
Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Oh, let's see. Well, I am Lower Hogsfield's preeminent potioneer. But I was once a lowly Hogwarts student like you. In fact, I'll give you the Hogwarts discount. It's the standard price. My prices are low enough already, you see.
What do you have for sale?
I sell only potions and their ingredients. If you can't fix it with a potion, then it's best left broken, I say. My ingredients are all local to this area, and my potions are brewed to keep you healthy and safe.
What do you have for sale?
What can I help you with today?
Sell.
I'll have no trouble selling this. Thank you.
Sell. So one hat to keep.
I hope to see you again sometime.
So I did have something I could have put on. Go back to nothing. Alright, Red. See you when you get back. Suggested level 2. Huh.
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn.
Spider.
Accio. Incendio. Potato. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. 8 legs is simply too many.
Good thing Red was gone. Although I'm likely to find more of them.
Accio. Revelio.
Ebradine Black Scale. Let's see, think I can figure this one or get this one taken care of?
I know what that means. Merlin trial. Revelio.
Hold on a moment.
Incendio. Accio. Revelio.
Oh, there they are.
Accio.
Come here.
Incendio.
And done. Another one over there. Come over here. No?
Levioso. Accio. Incendio. That's that. Settled.
I killed a pack of wolves at once in my other account. But I have call it an upgrade to this spell.
Incendio.
That allowed me to do so. Oh, right. Solve 2. Now I need to solve 6. Because these expand in storage for the gears. So I really want to do these. Because I tend to have issues with gear storage.
Accio. Incendio. Not my fault you're a deadly great spider. Revelio.
No dead parts? Or no
Past
fangs,
the
or-
ruins. I'm on the right track. Accio. Incendio.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Accio. Incendio. Potato. Accio. Incendio. Levioso.
No match for who?
You only have Ranrock to blame. Revelio.
Let me see. Quests. 6 more. 6 more dodge rolls. Got it.
An encampment. This must be it. Looks as if there's more than one way to enter.
Arn will regret not joining us. If he doesn't come
Revelio.
now, he'll be made even more of an example.
We should have killed that traitor Arm when we took his carts.
Pardon me.
Accio. Incendio. Levioso.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Revelio.
But none of you know I'm here yet. But you will soon.
Incendio. Levioso.
I will.
How many of you are there?
One less.
A weapon of time.
Potato.
Why do you burn this out longer than necessary?
Oh, that dodge was unsuccessful.
Incendio.
Not
Oh.
quite. You won't stop me.
Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Yes.
That was meant for me.
Accio. Incendio.
I won't.
Easily diverted.
Get.
Leviosa.
You don't believe you can defeat me, do you?
Accio.
Get over here.
Leviosa. Incendio.
Try to,
Not quick enough.
you. Goodbye.
You won't get away.
Annoyance.
Accio.
What an unfortunate disappointment.
Incendio. Accio. Leviosa. That was quite something. Now, 3 arms cards.
I think I need that Wingardium Leviosa to get that.
Accio.
Yeah.
Leviosa. Accio. Leviosa.
Spells, am I right? Gotta love them.
Could it be a Merlin trial?
Because I think I need to move those.
Accio.
Over here. Oh. Oh, look at that. Accio does work.
Revelio.
I think the other set is in here.
Quite an enchantment. The carts are returning to Arn. Accio.
Well,
Revelio.
Swan.
Incendio.
I wonder how long it would take Lex to
Accio.
figure this out.
These Merlin trials won't get the best of me.
Because I noticed those balls earlier, but I never tried to move them or anything, so... Anyway, that's done. Another Merlin trial done. The enchanted cart's getting back to its goblin master.
Incendio!
Go.
Cursed fiends. Revelio!
Here's your part. I could have sworn you dropped a part. I don't remember picking it up. No. Meep, I'm a sheep. Meep, I'm a sheep. Oh no. Now next time someone sees Lexi go by a sheep, they're gonna play that sound, aren't they? Blurb! Meep, I'm a sheep. Meep, I'm a sheep. Oh man. Sorry, folks.
If you're here for my wares...
On, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back.
I don't know what to say. Any hope I have of getting my belongings back was quickly fading. Ramrock's lot called me a fool for believing in the good in wizard kind. Thank you for proving them wrong.
I managed to free your carts fairly easily.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. Oh, I can't wait to have my things back, especially my paints. You know, you've inspired me. I've been dealing with witches and wizards for years, and we've always got along just fine. Perhaps my next piece will be a tribute to all that is good between us.
What a nice idea, Ron. I wish you luck with it.
Oh, I can't wait to get started. Thank you again for all you've done.
Yep. It was a pleasure.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little.
All the best to you. Once my car's right, be happy to show you my wares.
Oh. Close am I to leveling up? Hogwarts. Hold on. Before I do that, since next one is herbology class, let us work on this one. I need to get outside. I think you're relatively close to that spot. That's herbology. I don't actually want to go to herbology just yet. Nice dragon hedge.
Revelio.
Those are inside there. Lumbumbles. Not to be confused with bees.
These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling.
Kindling they be.
This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. Devil's Snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps
Keep doing that.
the light. Lumos. Incendio. Lumos. Accio.
Nope.
Lumos. Incendio. Lumos. Accio.
Nope.
Incendio. Lumos.
Oh.
Revelio. Lumos.
It's a shame.
Incendio. Lumos.
I have to keep reactivating Lumos. Nope, nope. That's the place I want to go. To finish
Seems
down
the
here.
Devil's Snare was protecting a chest of some kind. Incendio. Lumos.
Come on, come on.
Incendio. Lumos. Accio. Incendio. Lumos.
You throw
Incendio.
that way too quickly. Thank you very much.
Lumos. Incendio. Lumos. Incendio. Lumos.
Alright. Got the treasure. Oh.
Incendio.
Could have done that too.
Lumos. I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery. Incendio. Lumos.
There used to be a class down here.
Incendio. Lumos. Incendio. Lumos.
Think
Revelio.
that's everything around here?
Lumos.
Yeah, as far as I can tell. Sorry if I'm not talking much.
Lumos.
Just orange. I have new goggles. Orange is my favorite color.
Revelio.
Anything else around here? There's something.
Lumos.
Somewhere.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
There it is. Locked door. Fluxweed. Oh yes, mallow seed, sweet leaves. Need lots of those. On my other one, I have like 150 of them. I just started growing. Right, she's got a paperback here.
Revelio.
Missed one over there. Maybe I couldn't get that one yet. Alright, let's get this delivered
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel
after
was before
class.
I invented blue powder.
Oh, did I get myself stuck? Got myself stuck. Oh, blimey. Oh, I should have just fast traveled. Suppose I could have just fast traveled to what's its name? The herbology class.
Good morning, Professor Garlick.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacula than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio. Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears. Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug.
Oops.
Quickly! Place your mandrake in the new pot and pack out the soil! The soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at our potting tables. You can all get started. I need to have a brief word with our new student.
I wonder if hippogriffs like knotgrass.
Yes, Professor.
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
If only Lexi were here, she'd be able to listen to what this phrase has to reply to. She has to reply to.
I'll say, nearly went deaf.
Well, yes. Of course, the cry of a mature mandragora can be fatal, so remember to keep those ears protected. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Let's see.
Can't wait
how
till I
to
get the
balance my
room of
star
requirements.
thistle arrangement.
Dittany's restorative
Then I can grow
properties
more
make
at
it
a time.
vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion, as you all should know from Professor Well done! Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite.
They do bite.
Hello. Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbages. Up these stairs will take us there. But your lead.
But your lead.
Nice work.
Revelio.
Against the dark arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian. And he's good. Thinks he's really good. But you outright slaughtered him. It was brilliant.
Oh. Well, thank you.
I nearly put Sebastian in his place myself. Here we are. Home of the Chinese... Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it, and they'll do the rest. Look at that! They'll chomp anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the denoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that just have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but, well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have these other options on me.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
I picked most everything here yesterday while I was, well, yesterday in quotes, when I was taking care of...
And with that helpful reminder
Yeah.
as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall
Revelio.
go from here.
Secret.
Terribly sorry, Mr. Clopton. The edges mustn't curl and turn
herbology
brown like that.
corridor. Come here, Dittany.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Hope those mandrakes are really relishing their new pots.
I'll come back here later.
Cost me my damned hearing.
In the meantime, let's get the story continued, shall we? I have Newt. Both these are the exact same glasses. This one's orange. I have Newt. This one's supposed to be brown, but I'm not seeing a difference. Gotta get them upgrades on. $22, $26. Well, doesn't really matter. What did I miss in here? That's locked. It's better, but it's locked. Level 14. Only halfway there. Alright, class. Let's get up to potions.
So many.
That's the
Shouldn't there
last
be
time I
orders
had
or
a patient.
some
Revelio.
regarding the school after the incident in Hogsmeade?
Professor Black.
Is letting on about the Goblin Rebellion.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wiggenweld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wiggenweld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous. I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippin's, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time round.
Welcome back, Red. So, should I get this feather for this
keeping me home from school this year
Weasley
after
kid,
the rumors
or
of a goblin rebellion?
keep the feather for myself? Because I'm going to grab that feather one way or the other.
Say that you have permission to go into his office.
Yeah, nice. Nice catch, Red.
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular.
Weasley.
I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
I don't know, Gareth. I don't want to get on Sharp's bad side.
You won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Sharp won't even miss it.
I've enough to worry about collecting the ingredients he wants me to get. I'm afraid I can't help you.
I understand. I'll sort something else out.
Remember.
See, this is the feather he wants. And watch the upper right corner. And that's the creature it comes from.
Revelio.
Anything else in here? Nope, not in here.
A well-prepared witch or wizard
There
always
is
has a few potions on hand.
something
Proficiency
somewhere.
and potions are two things that cannot be rushed. Have patience and be thorough.
Where? Oh, there it is. Alright. We are brewing the Edurus potion. Edurus.
And now we add the mallow sweet, and that's odd. What's happening? Wait, it's not supposed to. Ah!
Get it! Not again.
He does that one word feather.
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again.
I brewed an Edurus potion as you asked, Professor.
Glad you managed to stay on task. Not every class is so eventful. I saw Mr. Weasley speaking with you earlier. He can be quite persuasive. Glad you managed to resist. You've done well today. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. And you can keep that Fwooper feather. This time. That'll be all.
He took points from Gryffindor because
I think each of us has had enough excitement for
Mr.
one day.
Weasley here
Class is dismissed.
is a Gryffindor, and he was playing around with potions instead of brewing potions he was supposed to be brewing. He was trying to experiment, is the problem.
Ugh, my robes are going to reek from Gary's inspiration for the rest of term.
A portrait in our common room wants to talk to you. It's Eldritch Diggory. He used to be the Minister for Magic, I think.
There were doxy eggs as well. But surely those
Alright, let's get to the common room. And I think I'll just fast travel there.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself. So few students know who I am these days. Eldritch Diggory, former Minister for Magic and founder of the Aura Recruitment Program at your service. I believe you can help solve a decades-old murder, thanks to that book you found, and, in particular, its missing pages.
How do you know about the book and the pages?
We portraits hear more than you might suspect, and most of us can keep a secret. So, what say you? Surely a Hufflepuff such as yourself would be inclined to help seek long overdue justice.
I'll do whatever I can.
Wonderful. I am pleased to have been right about you. My great-niece, Helen Thistlewood, can provide you with details. She's retired now, but was a skilled aura in her day. And the unsolved murder of which I speak was her case. I often visit my portrait in her home, in the nearby hamlet of Upper Hogsfield. Shall I tell her to expect you?
Headless Nick is, I believe he goes through Gryffindor. So, we might see him occasionally in the hallways, but, I know I've seen, what's her name? The, Ravenclaw gal who's weeping. Not Moaning Myrtle, someone else. Daughter of Helga? No. Missed the Professor Ravenclaw. Let's see. And I've seen the Duke.
How could a few pages of a book help her solve an old case?
A boy disappeared with those pages, but they never found the body. A girl was convicted of his murder nonetheless. It seems those pages could exonerate her somehow. My great niece can tell you more.
Can you tell me more about your great niece?
Cream of the crop when it comes to auras. A star pupil here, and then an exemplary servant to the ministry. And her spark hasn't diminished one bit in her retirement. She and I often chat about old cases and our glory days. No offense, but it's nice to get away from the students and converse with someone who's familiar with my legacy.
When were you the Minister for Magic?
Over 100 years ago. 1733 to 1747, to be precise. The stories I could tell you. Didn't have the chance to do all that I could. I was in the midst of reforming Azkaban when my life was cut short by dragon pox. I was sneezing sparks to the bitter end.
He's Minister of Magic for 14 years.
I shall go and see her right away.
Brilliant. With what I suspect is your knack for hard work and her keen mind, both mysteries may be solved sooner than you think. I shall see you there soon, I hope.
Fat Friar, I think?
Secret passage in Hogwarts. Wouldn't surprise me if new one popped up.
Supposed to be able to tickle a fruit and get into the kitchen. Grab a bite to eat. Oh, yeah. Mr. Weasley again.
It's me, Gareth. Do you have a moment?
At the moment.
It's you!
I tried to transfigure my pot.
Incendio.
Suppose I should do this really quick. You want dragon pox? Two, 4. Three. We need to memorize which one, one, since it's already set for one automatically.
Revelio.
Azure Niffler Scarf. Let's see. Let's gear up. Oh, come on. I hate using the touchpad because it's inaccurate. Because I'm at the bottom of the screen down here, and it jumps over up there because it's inaccurate. And for some reason, it keeps disabling this using the thing, which is unfortunate. Past Hogsmeade. So let's go to Hogsmeade real quick. Grab that one. Sell some of these cheaper things.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Ready for a little change in fashion, are we? Plenty to choose from here, so take your time.
Not interested in purchasing.
If I haven't said it before, it's a pleasure
want to
doing
sell.
business with you.
apparently I'm not high enough level for
I
that
suspect you
one
have a
yet.
sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
Revelio.
And I'm gonna want to purchase some things later. But for now, we have a destination on our hands.
Revelio.
I need light, and I'm not sure where. I'll get that later. Meep, meep, I'm a sheep. Meep, meep, I'm a sheep.
Revelio.
What I wouldn't give for a cup of mushroom tea.
Oh yeah, good thing you weren't here earlier, Red. Or after you took off for a bit. Face some spiders.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt. Revelio.
Beaches.
This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere.
Yeah, instead of knocking, you're just gonna barge right in, right?
Here you are. I'm pleased to see you took my advice.
Read that later.
Madam Thistlewood, I met your great uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you.
I'm pleased you came. Uncle Eldridge believes the book you found and its missing pages may be relevant to an unsolved case from my time as an aura.
Very well. I'm listening.
Decades ago, a student named Richard Jackdaw disappeared after going to meet a girl named Anne. They never found his body. When his headless ghost appeared briefly in Hogsmeade, wholly unaware of how he died, Anne was convicted of his murder and sent to Azkaban. It was in large part due to the testimony of a girl called Apollonia Black. Jealous of Anne, I think.
That sounds terrible, but I'm not sure how I can help.
Anne's alibi was somewhat labyrinthine. She said Jackdaw promised her adventure following a map he found on some pages he'd stolen from Peeves.
And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section?
If my great-uncle is to be believed, yes. At least that's what the portraits at Hogwarts suspect. Anne insisted that Jackdaw had asked her to follow the map with him, but only after she solved a series of puzzles he'd prepared. Odd way to woo a girl. She swears she never even solved the first puzzle, so they didn't meet. Jackdaw's ghost vanished almost as soon as he appeared. Without Jackdaw's puzzle, pages, or remains, Anne was sent to Azkaban based solely on Apollonia's spurious testimony.
I don't understand. What can I do to help?
I believe Anne may have solved the first puzzle by now, but after spending time in Azkaban, she's a shadow of her former self. She won't speak to anyone she doesn't trust, and she trusts no one. If you, a student with a connection to the pages, like Jackdaw had, spoke to Anne, she might reveal new information.
I've always wanted to see Azkaban. Count me in.
I suppose it has a peculiar appeal to some, but it can be terribly disconcerting. Fortunately, being a retired Auror has its benefits. We can apparate right to her. I've escorted ministers, professors, and many others to that blasted place. Never a student, I'll admit, but I will keep you safe.
Can you tell me more about Apollonia Black?
Wretched, vindictive girl, that one. Apollonia claimed that Anne threatened to kill the boy after he broke her heart. The Black family's power over certain people in the Ministry, along with the fact that Anne is Muggle-born, sealed her fate.
I'd like to know more about Anne.
That poor soul never was the brightest girl, and that lack of wit proved to be her undoing.
I half suspect Jackdaw and Apollonia were merely toying with her. Who could have known he'd end up dead?
She's not held up well in Azkaban. In some ways, she blames me for not proving her innocence. I'd like to clear her name if we can.
You said Jackdaw's ghost appeared briefly, then vanished. Where do you think he went?
I have no idea. Evidently, he was always a bit restless, going on and on about adventure. If I had to guess, he tired of Scotland and is somewhere on the other side of the globe by now.
Actually, he's at the top of the Owlery, actually.
Very well. Let's go.
Steady yourself. We'll apparate together. Don't worry, I've never splinched anyone.
Do take care now, and tread lightly in that horrible place.
We'll be there in but a moment.
If you're wondering how I know, it's because in the storyline of the Ravenclaw, you have to, you get taken to Ollivander, who says somebody stole a wand from him and he wants you to find him, and it turns out it was the ghost, and his ghost is hiding in a secret area at the top of the Owlery.
That ought to keep them at bay for now. Though, be aware, you may feel a wave of despair. It will pass.
Thank you for the warning.
This really is a dismal place, but we'll be out of here soon enough. Now follow me. Do keep your wits about you.
I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself.
Nasty Dementors. Not even I could convince the Ministry to send them off. There's no need for such monsters.
She's been here a lot longer than the rest of them.
I may play this another 2 times after I'm done on this account and another, just so I can see the different, or so I can experience the different paths you would take,
That witch you're with has a dark
depending
cloud
on the
over.
class you go to.
Feel it.
What is that I hear? Perhaps death, in all its mercy, approaches.
No one at school's going to believe this.
Now remember, Anne has been here a long time. The Dementors aren't kind. Have patience and speak to her quietly and respectfully.
Are you Anne?
Who's there? Who speaks to me? Is that death finally come for me?
I'm a student from Hogwarts. I found the book that you said would exonerate you.
Ah, the book, the book. No one would look. None of the mages found the pages.
Methinks the feckless knave meandered to his cave. My fate was surely sealed in Upper Hoggy Field.
Are you saying that the missing pages are in a cave? Near Upper Hogsfield?
Field! Ruins house, a vault concealed.
A vault in some ruins? Near Upper Hogsfield? I suppose it can't hurt to look.
Can't hurt to look. Go find the pages from your book. Helen, know you're here. Come in closer, be a dear.
What is it, Anne?
You're hurt.
Go. The cave. You're safe now. You have what you need. I'll be all right once I get...
This ain't Mungo's.
But Madam Thistlewood, all right. I'll find it. I'll find Jackdaw's cave.
There's 3 quests out here.
This looks intriguing.
Can't wait till I get a broom. Pardon me.
Incendio. Accio.
Pardon me.
Incendio. Revelio.
Way down there.
This must be the place Anne told me about. No one's been here for ages. Accio. It's no wonder Anne never found that clue. Revelio. Accio.
No.
No, that's not it.
And we'll do this. Very much.
Oh, that's done something. Accio. You couldn't outwit me, Jackdaw. Where's the clue you left behind?
My dear Stan, well done. You solved my puzzle. I knew you were a kindred spirit and only one with whom I could trust, truly share my adventures. Meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest as soon as you can, and I will show you the map that I mentioned. There's no telling where it will lead. I found it on the pages that Peeve ripped from a secret book, and no one else seems to be able to find. I haven't any idea what lies ahead, but I am glad to know I shall share my future with you. This is only the beginning. Richard. P.S. I'm terribly glad you found this, as I would have gone on alone if you did not. And what fun would that be?
A note from Jackdaw. Anne never found it. So how did he die? Was she to blame at all? I should investigate.
Could it be? Has someone solved my puzzle after all these years? Well done indeed. Richard Jackdaw, at your service.
The Richard Jackdaw. I heard you disappeared years ago. You have some explaining to do.
I do? That was my puzzle you solved. What are you doing here?
A retired aura, Helen Thistlewood, told me about a map you stole from Peeves. And then Anne told me about a cave.
You saw Anne? Broke my heart. I had to go on without her. Probably best for her in the end. Dare I ask? How is she?
Ooh. Not well, I'm afraid, or you ruined her life. I don't know if you have a delay, or if I should choose this on my own. I'd be tempted to say you ruined her life. But at the same time, I guess I'll go with not well, I'm afraid.
She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. I fear the Dementors have taken an irreversible toll on her.
What? Azkaban? Oh, poor Anne. I had no idea. I thought she'd written me off. I've been traveling the world for years to mend my broken heart. I came back here only recently, on a whim. I must speak to the aura you mentioned and see how I can help Anne.
I'm glad to hear it. Before you go, would I still be able to find the pages with the map Helen mentioned?
I'm almost certain I dropped them in the cave the moment I was beheaded. They're bound to be mouldering away with the rest of me. Tell you what, meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest, and I'll show you precisely where to find them.
Yeah, the puzzle to find him and speak to him up in the top of the tower was more complex than the puzzle down there.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you lose your head?
I was having a look about when I suddenly sensed a refreshing breeze, after which I felt, well, lightheaded. That's all I remember. Hence, if you do find yourself in a cave, be prepared. I can't tell you what for specifically, but you seem a perceptive sort. Beware a light breeze.
Helen mentioned Apollonia Black. Did she set up Anne to take the fall?
Have you never met any members of the Black family? They can be rather vindictive. Once Anne showed an interest in me, Apollonia couldn't let it alone. That her own heart had grown cold simply didn't matter.
How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist?
I didn't steal the pages from his ghostly form. I merely found them in his wake of destruction. He has a penchant for wrecking things. Books, bottles, suits of armor, whatever's likely to cause the most chaos. Found them on the floor outside the library where he discarded them. Not my luckiest find, all things considered.
Thank you. I need to find those pages to help a friend.
I shall see you there.
These rocks have seen better days.
Yes, yes they have. Level 14, which means... FYI, this is one of the things you get when you synchronize the Wizarding World website to your gaming account. There's one for each house. Alright. We need to head to the Forbidden Forest. But that may be later. Both of these are talked to looking badly. So we need to go to the class first, apparently.
Revelio.
Did you get your Whisperoo from Pippin's, or did you pick it yourself? I'm desperately in need of some.
Where, oh where? Oh, here it is. And another one. Oh,
Revelio.
Flat in the wall. Scorch marks. I'll explore the rest later. Yeah, we got that one.
Nothing worse
Oh,
than
now that I have a fire spell.
Incendio.
One more.
I wrote creatures for Vince yesterday while I was eating my lunch. I can't wait until
Revelio.
Yeah. I have to wait to do the Forbidden Forest because it's locked until I get Expecto or Expelliarmus learned, which is the reason why I'm here in class.
I hope you were able to take care of everything I had.
Professor, I completed all of your most recent assignments.
Well done. Then you're ready to learn Expelliarmus. Pay close attention. The disarming charm may often be all you need to defeat the most powerful dark witches and wizards you might encounter. Spellcasting requires a focused mind and a steady wand. Good work. The dummy is here if you wish to stay and practice.
Expelliarmus.
Expelliarmus! You seem to have the right end of the stick, but keep practicing. Expelliarmus may save your life one day.
Wait for it to recharge. Alright, and one more time.
Still at it, I see.
You know, gotta do things in threes. Now I can do to the forbidden forest.
Revelio.
Quick, fast travel. Actually, I don't think I'll have time to get to the Forbidden Forest before the end of my stream. Because it's going to take a bit to get through the dungeon. I can get there, but finishing it, not going to happen. And I do plan on raiding Lexi. So I could stay a little, stay for a bit to work on it, but I think I'd just as well go to Duncan and get these taken care of. Couldn't do those until I get the fire spell. Oh, was it Incendio? Yep. So, I'm gonna do...
Have you found anything to, prove my bravery yet?
Hello, Duncan.
Turn this in real quick.
I have the proof you wanted.
That's one leaf. Must have been a giant venomous tentacula. It's even more than I expected. I knew you were the one to ask. I appreciate you getting it for me.
Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself.
This is sure to
Except
put an
he
end to
didn't
Puffsky
do
and
it,
Dunkin for
so it's
good
kind of hard
when
for him
I
to
show
prove himself
everyone in
if
the
he
common
didn't
room tonight.
actually
This
do
will
it.
show everyone how ridiculous that nickname was. Thank you again.
Yeah, they'll ask
and
me
have
to
a good day.
explain the
I know
details
I will.
and be like, well,
Thank you for all
yeah,
your help.
went down there.
No
It was
more
dark,
Puffsky
scary.
and Dunkin for me.
Found this and brought it back. Wow, what a story. Crosswalks. Running through the castle. No running in school. Sorry, teacher.
Incendio.
25. Alright, before I do this, let's get some of this straightened out. Collect 50 Hogwarts pages in Hogwarts. I've already collected 2, 10, 25, 30, 40, 50 of them. I've already collected 50 of them. So when I'm done with this, I'd have collected 50 field guide pages in Hogwarts. Oh, wow. Spiders. Alright.
Coming through.
Let's get this practice done real quick.
Hello,
Which Lexi
Lucan.
should have done the
I'd
first
like to
time.
practice with the training dummy.
Excellent idea. This time will be a bit more of a challenge. Ready?
That'd be brilliant.
Wonderful. I'll set things up. Remember to cast all the spell combinations before the dummy lands again. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Accio. Incendio. Levioso.
Excellent form.
Accio. Incendio.
Nicely done.
Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Accio. Incendio.
Oh. Charge.
Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Accio. Incendio.
Good one. Impressive wand work. I'd hate to face you in a duel.
Yep.
It was only a training dummy.
True, but it's a difficult dummy. Believe me, I know. Seriously, well done. Training dummies will think twice before challenging you again. Plus, you'll be even more formidable in crossed wands. Other duelists had better beware.
Well, I've already been putting these to practice. Although I couldn't do the
Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of cross wands ready?
do the combination with the
match
fire
today.
spell because I didn't have it the first
It all
time.
comes down to this. The moment that we find out if your training and dedication is enough to win it all. Ready for a shot at glory?
I
Let's
certainly
do
am.
this.
Brilliant. Are you dealing with a partner?
Unless you want me to do it with partner, I'm gonna go as solo. Should I do a partner, or should I do it solo? And if a partner, do I go with the Ravenclaw or, sorry, Gryffindor, or the Slytherin? I guess I'm gonna go solo then. Gryffindor? Okay. I've always gone solo with these.
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get started.
We can make this a real victory.
That's the spirit.
Yep, thank you.
Levioso. Expelliarmus. Protego. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. That's all you've got? Accio. Incendio. You're better than that. Levioso.
When you're done.
Defendo.
Protego. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Stupefy. There goes my wager. Stupefy. Ringo. Stupefy.
I'm the one.
Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Protego. Stupefy. Levioso. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio. Stupefy. Accio. Incendio.
What's a duel?
Poof.
What a victory! You've won the tournament!
Yes, I was lighting them on fire.
I'm just pleased to have done as well as I did.
And we're pleased to have such a gracious champion. Now, to the victor goes the prize! And so it is my great honor to present you with this simple yet elegant token of supreme dueling accomplishment.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
You earned it. You are a duelist to be reckoned with. Now that we've definitively crowned the tournament winner, I suppose I should get back to my schoolwork. Wonder how my herbology plants are doing. I haven't tended them in ages.
Got some things completed here, huh? New look. A lucky appearance. Can't wait till I unlock the room of requirement. What did I win? You know what? I'm not entirely sure. This one. An ensemble for the unchallenged duelist, earned by winning all challenges of the crossed wands. And this one for completing the quest. So, I can come into here, change my gear, and put this on. But you can't really see it because this takes over everything. Ooh, here. There we go. That is the duelist. Yep. Start running around Hogwarts like this. Let's see. It's telling me the finals are ready. Also the training dummy. Ooh.
Revelio.
You're right. I have a cape. Now I'm a superhero. Wait until I can fly on a broomstick. And having the cape flat behind me. Imagine that's how they saw some muggle saw someone doing that, and they're like, "Ooh, superhero! Should write a story about him." I don't know anything about him, but here, how about this? I'll just make something up. Alright, I think I'm going to find some of these flu networks. That I haven't touched up on. Oh, he wants to duel. Basically, he wants me to do the pulling check, fight me with the with the summoning charm. Accio. Oh, I need to go that way, apparently. Keep wanting to go up those small flight of stairs.
My aunt made
Apparently I went to the wrong one. Oh, someone put stink thing through there. Wait a minute.
I keep things clean as
Expelliarmus!
Oh.
Oh, what's that vile stench?
Lumos!
My family has
There it is.
I've always said that travel.
Even Ferdinand Octavius Pratt.
Lexi still doesn't know how to do this. Get these.
You know, stink. I should be hanging.
The food disappears in the great hall.
Oh, looks like Lexi has gone live. Alright. This is where I call it. We're gonna raid Lexi. She is going to continue playing her story of Hogwarts Legacy. She is also a Hufflepuff, for those who are curious. At any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed my game, and I hope to see you tomorrow. For anyone who's new, I do stream Monday through Fridays, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. PST. Tomorrow may be a longer game, as Lexi is not streaming tomorrow, and I'll be playing some Grounded. So my current schedule as of now is Mondays and Tuesdays, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Hogwarts Legacy, and Friday, Grounded with some friends. Hope to see you here tomorrow, and until then, I hope you have a good one. And until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.